Hello everybody, this is Serpent, and welcome back to another episode in Dungeonstalker. In the last episode, we built this intersection. Since then, I have added these nifty carpets and a couple signs. And then I've also... I have also... one more, maybe? Yeah, okay. Added this, this book, The Order in which you ought to do them. And I think that's about that, really. Although I've changed this a little bit to accommodate this button, which does not, as of yet, do anything. So that's probably one of the things I want to do just now, make the button do something, and that will be done by just putting a command block with a teleportation command in it, and that'll just head over to the, let's see, the monument. Whoops, my brain is not acting very quickly at the moment. However, one of the things that you probably ought to notice at this point is this. The key sounds. They are no longer the annoying bumps, the weird muffled thumpy sounds. They actually sound like key presses, which is, I think, a large improvement. And that's because one of you thankfully reminded me that I ought to have some padding between my mic stand and the table so that the sound doesn't carry through the wood and up into the mic. So thank you for that. I think it's actually made quite a large difference. I was listening to a small recording of my slapping some keys, and it seems to have worked. So thanks for that. Now, I don't know the coordinates, so I'll just leave that command block blank there until we actually find the coordinates, but I'm not going to do that on camera because coordinate finding is very annoyingly boring. So, I do want to do something. I want to make another level. That's generally what we do in these episodes. At the end, or somewhere along those lines, we will end up actually putting stuff in the levels, like loot and spawners, on camera. As of this point, I have done a little bit of both. I've done some on camera, some off, most of it off. Oh, lag. I turned my FPS up, I think. Oh, no, I turned it down. Whoops. I was seeing whether or not some weird visual effect that I was noting would be lessened by changing the speed at which the frames are shown, but no. I think it's the monitor. Anyway, I've done most of it off camera, that map, or that level, and that's it. That one I did on camera, that one I did off. There's more in that one, so, you know, more off camera than on. Anyway, though, what I want to do now is get ready for the level. I have a little plan. I want it to be sort of a drowned cavern, a drowned hallway, and we will have mobs that befit such an environment. So I'm going to clear an area for it, or rather, just, you know, set up an area for it. Doesn't need any clearing. And then we ought to be about done with, or ought to be about ready for the actual making of the stuff, which is the fun part, of course. I was sort of thinking of where I want to actually put these things, the levels, because right now I'm just laying them out in a line. And I think I'll probably keep doing that, because it seems to be working. Oh yeah. Whoops. Oh well. Yeah. So I need to find the edge of this previous level. Seems to be about here. And go a little further to make sure you can't dig from one level to another. That is something I'm a little bit worried about, but that is clearly cheating, so... You know, if they cheat, they cheat. It's their own darn fault. That's sort of my my mentality about it. If they want to ruin their game experience, they can feel free to do so. I won't stop them. Anyway, I want to clear out an area, or rather, set it to the right block palette, and then we can start on the actual thing. Now this one is going to be a little bit what's the word? A little bit larger, but I don't think it'll be necessarily harder. I'm just going to make it take up a little bit more space than the other ones. And I'm going to just, well, I'm going to spread out the spawners a little bit more, perhaps, and have them, maybe have them in clumps, though, to reduce the easiness factor that would result in. Because if you have them all one spawner per 100 blocks, that's not going to be very difficult, even if there are more overall than in other maps. But see in the middle of the screen there? Well, I can't really motion, but right above the cursor, there's a little flickering or weirdness. I don't know if that's only on my end, or if it's just something that happens on both the recording and the actual monitor. I don't know. I'm going to see what this results in. And that's a lot of lag. It's a lot of blocks affected. Ha. Alright, so that's a pretty big area. Probably don't need it that deep. But, I think it's a little deep and a little long. Or thin, I mean. I want it to be a little bit, I want it to go out a little bit more that way, and maybe stop there on the top. So for this one, I want to try and stray from our previous theme of sort of just sticking with one theme for the whole level. What I want to try and do is have the floor be made of one thing, and then the structures in it be made of another thing. I mean, it's not all that novel, but it's a little bit different from what we have been doing. And I'm not sure if I've already said what I want to do for this level. I think I have, but I'll say it again because I'm not sure. We're going to be doing a sort of flooded hallway with arches. At least that's the plan. And like I said, I want to try and do the floor one thing, and then the other stuff the other. And I will start by using a palette that is not the one I just showed you. It's going to be... oh, wow. Lag. Interesting. It's going to be, instead of that, just the prismarines, I think. So, if we go here, this was before I had this was before I had executed what I figured out I wanted to do, and it's a little bit different. So basically just get rid of all the stuff that's not prismarine. And there we go. So that's what it looks like. Now this is going to be flooded, like I said. Oh. So it's going to be covered in water. So we're going to do one layer of water. I wonder if this stops you when you teleport. Stops your momentum. I don't know. There we go. So that looks a little bit better. Takes away some of the garish nature of prismarine. And then from here, oh, I'm sort of unsure now. I was thinking of doing what I have been doing here, but come to think of it, I might want to build the structure and then fill it in with this pattern. Yeah, okay, that's a better idea. So I guess we'll be doing the base materials first. So that would be the walls and other stuff. I know I'm not making a whole lot of sense right now, but it'll make sense in a little bit. Hopefully. So we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be doing the structures first instead of what I just did. And I'm not quite sure what the block palette for that should be. I'm pretty sure I want stone brick, but we've used stone brick in the past, so maybe we ought to use quartz. We haven't done that. What goes well with quartz that I could put in as a wall block? That's pretty good. And that's about it. Although I could use white wool, since that's something that's already been collected. Or white concrete. Or both. Alright. I'll try that. Although the pillar quartz block, of course, is not going to be part of the wall. It's going to be part of the pillars. Not a very large surprise there. Anyway, so if I punch that out like I ought to have, and then move over here to the top, then we can actually fill this in with what it ought to be filled with, which is what I have in my inventory. Let's see, set, and we have snow, quartz, block, concrete, wool, and I think that's it, right? Yeah. Okay, operation completed, and we're stuck in it. Eh. Oh. I guess this is... What if I make it snow block instead of just snow? Ooh. Ha, that's the good one. Let's see then. I suppose we ought to sort of figure out what we want to do with this then, because I'm not quite sure where I am. I'm in the upper something corner. Oh. Took me a little while there. Whoa. So we have from over there to over here filled in with this stuff, but we're going to have to find the middle ground, which is about here, I think, and then do something with it. So maybe let's go with this, and then just game mode 1. And this is our starting position. And that's what our wall palette looks like. So we're going to try and branch off from this with archways, like I said, but first we want to fill the bottom in with what I actually did first and then removed, which was the prismarine thing. Let's see. Prismarine. And then on top of that, over here, it's going to be water. And that's about where we left off. So if we try and go in to the wall, maybe 3 blocks from the edge, is that a big enough archway? Maybe not. Maybe we want a little bit bigger, like that. I mean, that could work. That stuff looks gray next to the snow. Anyway, that might be a little large though, and that's a little wide. Oh, don't want that. I'm just rotating through all the blocks in my inventory steadily. Okay. And then something like that. I think that's probably the best archway. So I have decked out our thingy, our room, with a little bit more structure. We've got some pedestals in the corner, or pillars in the corner, and archways. So I'm going to try and copy this, or paste it, I suppose. Okay, looks like I did that right. That's a good thing. And we have 2. So that means... no, I can't do that. Oh well. So that means that we actually have a module that we can copy and paste over and over again. Oh, except not the archways. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, I can copy and paste the archways and then add them to the module. But the point is, we do have a method for getting what we want, for building the thing. So we can actually we can take this starting position and move with it and make the map. So paste, There we go. Left out the floor, but oh well. Alright, so now we have to think about where we actually want to go with this. I know I want a series of hallways, and I want some sort of water mob to go with it. I don't know if we'll be doing the water mob on camera this time, but we'll probably end up thinking about what we want it to be. So I think probably the best course of action for right now would just be to expand this thing out a bit and make some tunnels and passageways. Alright then, this is what we have so far. It's been, I think, a little while since I last recorded, and what has changed is I have used the //stack command, and I have expanded upon what we had already. This is what it's going to look like as you're flying through it with, well, not flying, but playing through it with no night vision at all. And just to give you a little bit of a better idea of what it is, what it looks like, I will also show it to you with night vision. Dramatically bright. Anyway, yeah, this is what it looks like, basically. So, now, I do still need to put a little bit more into it. I haven't yet finished the tunnel network, and then once we do, we'll probably end up wanting to change a couple things. I'm thinking we'll want to change basically just how a couple rooms, some different rooms. We need some variation in how it plays out. And currently we don't really have that, so we'll make that pretty soon, but first, of course, I do need to finish the tunnel network. We have a suitably cruel maze of tunnels. And that all coupled with the fact that it's flooded with water. So, this ought to be a rather interesting thing to navigate. Or, by interesting, I mean frustrating, I don't know. The point is, we have a tunnel system now, so we can start adding cool things to it. Mainly different rooms. Rooms that have oddities in them. That way you don't get quite as lost. So this area right here is roughly the center. It's the spot where all the original roads diverged from, and that's the start. So I'm going to put something in here. Not quite sure what, but I think something's going to go in here. So I'll just put a marker block here. And then off to the sides of the rooms are going to be, or off to the sides of the hallways, I suppose, are going to be slightly smaller rooms. For example, this one. And it's got a chest in it. So let's copy this thing so that we can put it elsewhere. And then maybe stand here. Okay. So, exactly 100 blocks. So now we can go over somewhere, say here, and paste it. Like that. And then, of course, I suppose we need to fill that in with not that, this stuff. So we can do that on places, and then we can also rotate the thing 90 degrees, or, a different amount. I think that's clockwise, so that ought to do it, and then, yes, gotcha. Okay, and then of course, we still have to do that. So, that's just something we can do. One little option on the room. And I'm not sure what else we need to do, what else we want to do. I know, obviously, spawners will take play here. Perhaps cause the most of the oddities, the differentiating from one part to another, but I don't think that's the only thing I want to be different about different places. I'm not sure what else though, so I'm going to have to think about it. So for this center hub, I've set up a little fountain, and it's I mean it's a fountain. It's not all that fancy and it's not all that creative, but it'll serve as a centerpiece. However, I have gone and taken the initiative of making a squid and over here a guardian into the walls, and I think that sort of thing looks pretty good all together. I was considering making his eye glow, but the sea lanterns just don't look as good as the people. See, looks really weird. But anyway, I'll move on. I do want to keep doing this this sort of pixel art sort of thing, or maybe just some sort of interesting pattern on the wall, something vaguely interesting that will take away from the monotony of everything else. Maybe paintings would actually work. Let's see. Not centered. No, stop giving me those. The ones that aren't centered. Let's see. If I take that and walk it off there. Huh. Ooh, is that one centered? No. Come on. Darn it. Anyway, I'll do paintings on this wall, if I can get any of them to work. Let's see, I'll put one there, and then one here, and then one here. Yeah. Like that. Yeah, okay, that works. Maybe I'll put something secret behind them too, just for fun. Aha! So, we have finished... I've basically finished the whole thing. Now, there is going to be a little bit more to it, mainly in the chests and spawners, but what I've done so far is add a couple more of those special things, and I have also made addendums to the previously added ones. So, just going through it in roughly order, we have a red squid now. This one has a chest in it, and this one will have a trap in it. That's pretty straightforward, since one's red, one's purple. And this one's going to just have a chest in it. And then over here, that will have spawners. Spawner me. And this will be where the wool is, right here. And then over here, if you look up and see that and explode it, there will be a chest above. Over here. Similarly, there will be a chest in here, but there will be a trap in this one. And over here is just a pretty painting. Over here is going to be a chest in the one different one. And then moving on, I think there's only one more maybe. Yeah, okay. There's just this one. If you get the right arbitrary combination, a reward will pop out. If you get the wrong arbitrary combination, something will explode, I assume. But that, I think, is about all the time in this episode for today. So, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.